Hello everyone, welcome to the Touchdesigner-FREE tutorial. I'm Harry. In this lesson, I'll be sharing how to use instances to make particles appear more voluminous. We'll start by creating a grid, which is essentially a basic emitter for our particles.
Next, in the grid properties, we change the size to 4x4 and the rows and columns to the corresponding 40t40.
To modify this parameter, we can press the plus button in the lower right corner to activate my element, then right-click and select Display option. Then, we select the first point of all, and now we can see that all the emitter points are displayed. Then, we connect to Sort, which aims to make our particles appear in a random state, making it more natural. Now we select Particle and add it to the end. We can see that it is now emitting based on our grid. Next, we will adjust the parameters. We'll add some external forces to the forces list, specifically 0.1, 0.01, and 0.1. Then we'll assign a value of 1 to each turbulence and reduce the period. We can modify and adjust these parameters according to our own experimentation and preferences. We continue adjusting the particles, specifically their drag, birth, life expect, and life variance. Now we need to create a keyboard in the chop, and map it to a reset function. This will make resetting easier and allow us to observe the results. We can activate the keyboard in the keyboard, drag the data onto the pulse in the reset menu, and then select cop reference. Now, pressing the 1 will re-emit the particle. Next, we need to right-click on the particle's output, and then select Sopto to convert the SOP data into chop. This is so that we can put the data into the instance later. To make the animation more natural, we need to define the basic spherical properties. First, its size distribution, and then its color index. We also need to convert these into chop data. First, we create a ramp in the top panel, change the type to circular, and then change its color, initially to orange with some red accents. Next, we adjust the resolution to 100/100. We can add a level later for easier adjustment. Then create a null value, and then use Topto to convert the data into the value of chop. We can remove alpha because we don't need it here. Here we need to change the crop function to a full image so that we can get all the parameter values. Next, we create a shuffle operation to reorganize the data, choosing the sequence channels by name method. This will give us the array we need, and then we create null values. This gives us the motion and color values. Next, we create the size distribution values. Create a noise in the top element. And change its attributes. Period to 6, harmonic to 9, harmonic spread to 3.8, and harmonic gain to 0.24. The specific values were obtained by trying different values to achieve a satisfactory result. Here we need to be careful to ensure that our resolution is consistent and change to 100:100. Otherwise our instance will report an error. We create an edge in the back, change strength to 10, and alpha to 1, so that we can imagine black and white as its size distribution area. Here we create another null and then Topto. Here we only need to keep one R value. We also U to full image and then add shuffle, selecting the same option as before. We'll add another math. Change the value in multiple to 0.5, and then change the right side of to range in range to 1.5. This will cause our value to fluctuate within this range. Next, we'll create a rename and change its name to S, since the name RGB has already been used below, and we're doing this to differentiate it. Then add null. Now that our data is created, we'll create a merge to connect them all together. And then add null values, renaming them to instance. Next, we need to create a basic SOP sphere. We'll reduce its size a bit, then add a transform later. We'll also reduce the scale here to 0.6, and then create null. Next, right-click the output and create a geo component. We need to create a renderer in the top section to render it. And we also need to add a camera. Create a null value after render, drag it further away, and turn on its display background, the small blue button. Next, select Geo and open its instance. We can add the instance we just created to our instance op. Then, select the small arrow to the right of Translate X, Y, Z to select the data with the corresponding name. Select them one by one and enter the S data we just created in the scale below. Next, in Instance 2, we can see the Color Ops section at the bottom. We fill in the corresponding RGB values. We can see that it now has some basic colors and dynamic features. Now we need to add lighting and materials to make its colors more vibrant. First, we select the PBR material in the material settings and create it. We change its metallic value to 0, its roughness to 0.235, and its AO to 1.8. Then we adjust the rim size, change the color to white, and reduce the width. Okay, now we can apply the material to the material object. Now we can start lighting it. First, we'll create a basic light. And then we'll create an environment light. For this, we'll need a light map, so we can create a noise map. We selected the noise attribute and made some slight modifications. Then we create null, drag it into the environment, and select environment map. In this way, we can see that its basic color lighting has appeared. Next, we can make some further adjustments to the post-processing. We'll add a blur in the middle and create a composite. We can adjust the blur parameters as needed. We'll add a transform to add a black background. We can increase the intensity of the environment light, including the base light. Then we can add a bloom effect, and we can adjust the ramp color or use HSVadjust to adjust it according to our preferences. We can also adjust the level. Next, we can add interactive effects. First, for our bed frame metaball, we'll change its size to 0.7 and its weight to 8. Then, we'll add a force function, enable it, and adjust its parameter to 0.1. We can also add vortex force and spiral force, which will make the interaction more interesting. We can change these according to our own needs. If we connect to the third in port of the particle, we can see that the sphere is attracted by our force value. We can now temporarily create a mouse as an interactive reference. We create a mousin and add math after it for parameter correction. Then we drag the value to the center of the metal ball, and the x and y coordinates correspond to the center. The data is a bit small, so I multiplied it by 2. For finer adjustments, we can use the range function to adjust it according to your display device, or we can change the intensity of the interaction. That concludes this lesson. If you enjoyed my free tutorials, please follow me. Thank you.